Welcome guys to another gaming collection update for the month of February 2019. We got a lot of cool stuff this month, a lot of collectibles, a lot of video game stuff, so let's go ahead and check out what we got.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a recce is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie.
Alright guys, welcome to my gaming collection update. This is the second part in this series. We're here doing the February edition. This is the second month we're doing it. I'm really glad to be, like I talked about in the last video, for those who didn't see it, this is a series where I go through everything I collected throughout the last month, whether it be gaming, collectibles, or video games, or basically anything that gets added to this whole entire game room, or movie room over there. I try to show you guys what I added, to the collection. Some months obviously may be bigger than others. This month was a pretty good month. There's a couple of really high collectible video games in here, a couple of cool pieces in here, a little bit of everything basically, which is what I want, not only for the channel for you guys to see, but also for myself. I like to collect, like, every month, like, hey, I got a video, a couple of video games, I got a couple of, cool old school stuff, I got a couple of cool collectibles, so on and so forth. So I like to mix it up. So without further ado, let's dive right into what's actually in front of me here. Let's start off with the 360 Society. I see a pile of 5 360 games here, a couple of really good ones, one that's pretty sought after and actually was kind of expensive, but I had to finally buy it. So let's start off with Halo 3. I can't believe I didn't actually have this game on the 360. When I was looking up all the Halo games to make sure I had them all, I was like, holy crap, I really don't have Halo 3. Obviously, this game is, on the Master Chief Collection that I play on the Xbox One, but still, to have it on here, an actual physical form on the 360 is obviously what I wanted. And just couldn't believe I didn't have it. Moving along here, let's move this chair over next to me. The next one I have on here, one of the ones I've been looking forward to getting, is Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition. This is obviously made by Rockstar. This is a really solid game. I've already put a few hours into this game. And just like everyone said back when it came out, which I never actually played for some reason or never owned, this is a great open world street racing game made by Rockstar back in the day on the 360. Excellent game. Next one we have on this list here is Def Jam Icon. If you guys haven't heard of this series, this is basically a, you use a bunch of rappers. Let me see if there's some examples here on the back. I know T.I. is in here. I know Ludacris is in here. I know Sean Paul's in here. You basically take these rappers, you fight with them, but it has a music track in the background, and you're basically like, using the music to the fight and trying to fight each other using the music and throw each other around the environments that are all interactive, and using the music to your advantage, trying to scratch on the track and stuff like that, like you're a DJ. It's a really interesting, really cool game. Nothing like this anymore, obviously. And, this is a really, really solid game, fun game to play. I mean, where else can you play with a bunch of rappers and using their songs and stuff and mixing it up on mixtapes? So, interesting game. I like that one. Keeping on with my karaoke stuff, a lot of people who have watched this channel know I love karaoke games, and this is High School Musical 3 on the 360. As a fan of High School Musical, no shame in admitting it, I got the karaoke game. And the one that was actually really sought after and an expensive game that I need to buy is Need for Speed Most Wanted. Now, I already have this game on the Xbox. They actually have it for the original Xbox and the PS2, but obviously this version is the best one. The best looking version, for obvious reasons, Need for Speed Most Wanted. On the 360 obviously looks the best, so I really wanted to play it on there. And obviously the high motion, there's a lot of story, and the video and stuff is obviously in 720p at least. So definitely made me pick this up. But this is actually a really hard game to, not a hard game to find, just an expensive game. I believe this game goes for about $50, like if it was still a new retail release. So happy to add this to my collection. Finally, I've been wanting Need for Speed Most Wanted for a while to finally play it. I'm a couple of hours into that one because I didn't want to play it on the original Xbox. I was waiting for the 360 version. So let's grab what's right in front of us to get it out of the way. So we have on the PlayStation, we have Speedball 2100. Now, I didn't even hear about this game until I looked up a few things, and I was like, oh, Speedball, that's an interesting game. And I started doing some more research on it, and then I got the PS1 version first. And it's actually a really fun game. Basically, you have, like, it's almost like soccer, handball kind of thing. I don't know. It's a mixture of, like, maybe rugby. Basically, you have a bunch of players on each side, and you're throwing a ball back and forth, you're passing it to your teammates, and you're trying to score on a goalie on the other side, by throwing it past them. So it's an interesting game and a fun game to play 1v1. Moving along here to the Virtual Boy. Keeping my Virtual Boy collection growing. Obviously, the Virtual Boy only has like 13 titles or 16, something like that. released in the U.S., so adding another one to my collection is Warrior Land Virtual Boy, complete in box with the instruction manual and stuff. I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list here, so about halfway there to a full Virtual Boy collection. I will definitely complete the Virtual Boy collection one day, because it's an easy one to complete, and most of the games are pretty fun. I actually had a problem when I bought this game. I realized my Virtual Boy was having a problem, and I couldn't see anything. There was all scattered lines. Luckily, I was able to take it apart and fix it myself with just a heating gun, thank God, so I got that working, so that was exciting. Let's move on to a collectible thing. So, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie build. Basically, it's for Renegade regional movie theaters. Basically, every time a big movie comes out, they give you this little pamphlet. Unfortunately, I have 3 of their other ones. Unfortunately, the Bumblebee movie that came out, this is very cheaper version of what this used to be. They used to release it just for like the popular movies all the time, but it looks like based on the fact that they now started adding Winter 2018 that it's going to be like a seasonal thing. I don't know. I guess maybe it isn't doing what they wanted for them, but it used to be like a hardcover-ish, not hardcover, but it felt like a really good cover. This is just a piece of paper, and it used to be like 10 pages long. Now it's just like literally this and this, and it turns into a poster too for the Bumblebee movie, which is cool, but this is obviously very different than what the other movie builds were. Like I said, the other ones were like 10 or 12 pages, which was nice. Fortunately, not this one, but it's still cool. Basically, this is an AR magazine. You take your phone, and you can scan all these different parts. So let's say I scan this Bumblebee over here or stuff like that, that it tells you to scan in the magazine. It may play a trailer. It may give you some information about it. You may see Bumblebee literally appear right here in front of you in an AR capacity. So it's really cool that they do this. I hope they continue them, at least better this form than no form, but we'll see. Moving along to these accessories here. This is for the Game Boy Advance, or 2 wireless adapters. If you know you guys on the Game Boy Advance, there's some games you can play, with Game Boy Advances around the area, and these make it wireless instead of using the link cable. So I have 2 of these to add. Here in front of me, NHL 2002 on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't even know how much fun this game was. I pulled this game up on the Game Boy Advance, and I played this for like a solid hour, just straight up through. I was supposed to just test it, but I ended up sitting there for like an hour and a half playing NHL 2002, and that was a solid game there as well. A fun hockey game on the Game Boy Advance if you guys don't have any, and it's cheap. It's like $4 that I got that for. Let's get this thing out of the way that's right here. This is South Park. I have 2 other ones on these. I don't know if this has ever been on the channel, but I have a Family Guy edition and a Beavis and Butthead one. Basically, these were released in the 90s. This is what it looks like here in front. So it's a really cool South Park one. And basically, if you press the bottom here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right now, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you guys. But basically, you press the bottom on, and it stays on for at least 45 minutes. And the idea of these were they were TV talkers. You put them on top of your TV back in the day, and anytime you use the remote to change the channel, these guys would go through one of the lines. So it's like 20 different lines from the show that these guys would randomly say as soon as you press the remote. And the Beavis and Butthead and this one are really cool. The Beavis and Butthead says like, "Oh my God, this channel's terrible. Change the channel. This is whack." Things like along that nature. And these guys all say stuff from the show, like who killed Kenny and all that other stuff. So it's a really cool piece to have. Really good condition. Like I said, this is from the 90s. This looks like it was brand new. All my other ones are basically brand new as well. So this is really cool. To when you press the remote on my retro TV that I have there, sometimes if I have it on, they go through their lines. Like I said, Family Guy, this one, and Beavis and Butthead are the ones that I own. So. This is some really cool stuff. Let's bring out this chair here. Moving right along here to another 90s piece that I got. I wanted some Pokemon. If you got to see my game room tour, when you go down the stairs, the whole 90s area that I have, I wanted to add something Pokemon related on there. And I was able to find these figures. These are, I forgot the exact name of these figures that they use, but these are also from the 90s. They're really cool Ash and a really cool Pikachu. And it comes with the Pokeball and stuff. I still want to get a couple more. I want to get Brock and I want to get Misty as well to add to these. But they're hard to find and sometimes expensive. For these 3, I think it was like $20, which isn't bad. Misty by herself, the cheapest I found is like $15. Brock is impossible to find. I got to watch eBay and see when they come on sale because I want to get the collection of those to sit up there. But, it's cool to have this figure. I love the way that the Ash looks in this. So they did a really solid job on these. Moving along here to Disney Infinity, I was able to add another Marvel figure to Disney Infinity. I think I had 2 or 3 left that I need to complete the collection of all the Marvel characters that I need for the Battlegrounds that I talked about in the past. And I love that Marvel Battlegrounds game on Disney Infinity. And This was one of the expensive ones. This was like $35 or $32 or something. This was one of the most expensive ones that I had. The other two were like $20 each. So this was one of the most expensive one that I had left. So I'm glad to add that to the collection. Let's pick up this right here. On the Nintendo DS, we have Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue. Yep, Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue. I didn't hear anything about this game. I saw gameplay of it on Metal Jesus Rock's channel, if you guys haven't heard of him. I checked his channel out. Saw how good this game was. I love the gameplay. He said how great it was that uses the 2 touchscreens in like a perfect way. And he's so right. This game is so much fun to play. Unfortunately, it's a really expensive game. It's like a $100 Nintendo DS game, sometimes $120. For a complete in box, of course. You can get it cheaper if you just buy the cartridge. But this is complete in box with the manual and everything. So, really happy to have this. And obviously, it instantly became my most rare / expensive DS game that I own. With this game. So, happy to add that, and it's a fun game to play. Moving right along here, for the N64, I didn't have a transfer pack for the N64 when I wanted to use the Game Boy Advance Pokemon games, and I want to transfer them to Pokemon Stadium. So I got the transfer pack for that. And then I got a Rumble pack as well for the N64. Don't know what that is, for Rumble on your controllers. Then we got a new VCR tape. We got Gullah Gullah Island here, man. This was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. And who could forget this guy here that was on Nick Jr., who came and introduced all the shows. Oh, man, I love that intro. When I popped this in and I saw the purple guy's face, I was like, oh, my God, childhood memories right there. And, Gullah Gullah Island. And this is actually one that was never released. You can see a special story for video, so you can't find this anywhere else. And Gullah Gullah Island's hard to even find, out there on the internet to even watch the episodes and stuff. I believe it's on Amazon Video, but it's... Amazon Video is the only official place you can get it. I wish it was on other places or easier to find online, but so I want to collect a few of these VCR tapes, but they're hard to find for Gullah Gullah Island. This one was hard to find as well. On the PS2 here, we have Medal of Honor Vanguard for the PS2 and Ace Combat 4 for the PS2. I don't have any of the Ace Combat games. I never played any of them back on the PS2 days or anything like that. And speaking of Ace Combat, now that I have these two, obviously what got me into those and got me into Ace Combat, I got this PS4 flight stick, the official Ace Combat one. You can see the logo there on the side. This is for the PS4. Excuse me. And this is obviously a flight stick. It's really cool to use with the new Ace Combat 7 game that came out. And even more cool to use when you're playing VR because you really feel like you're in there. So you add the VR goggles and you have this in here controlling it and stuff, and it just takes it to a whole new level as far as immersion and stuff. So, and the control stick works really well, no issues with it at all. I'm really liking this flight stick and, experiencing Ace Combat in VR with, some of the VR missions. And even without the VR, with actually experiencing the story and stuff, I love playing with the flight stick. And it does work on PC as well. One of the games that I tried it with on the PC was The Crew 2 from Ubisoft, so when you're flying the planes, it worked perfectly great with that game as well. Picking up this game here, we got Burnout 2 on the original Xbox. I was surprised I also didn't have this game either when I was looking at all the Burnout titles that I have. I didn't have Burnout 2 on the original Xbox, one of the, highly regarded Burnout games from back in the day, so we all know what that is. And on the PS3 here, MotorStorm, I had the other two. I wanted to have the original MotorStorm. I love this series on the PS3. One of the games that I really loved on there. So, MotorStorm on the PS3. If you guys haven't checked this one out, definitely do so. On the PSP here, we have SSX On Tour for the PSP. A great snowboarding game on the PSP here. Really cheap game as well. But really solid snowboarding game on the PSP. Then on the Master System, we got Wanted. Wanted on the Sega Master System is basically it uses a light gun controller for the Master System, which is why I got it, and it's a really solid light gun game on the Master System. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I'm a really big fan of light gun games, obviously, which is one of the main reasons I have a retro TV is for light gun games, and this is a really solid one on the Master System. And the last few things we got here is collectibles. Basically, all my glass shelves that you guys have seen in the movie room have been completely changed. I'm now making the left side all basically Xbox titles or Xbox things that I played on the Xbox, and then the right side is all PS4, PlayStation stuff. And it's all my favorite series. So there's like a God of War section, there's a Kingdom Hearts section. I'll show you guys that one day when it's actually done because it's not complete, but I'm starting to get some collectibles for that area. So like this is a God of War from the God of War series art print that I got from there. one of the other things that I'm doing on the other shelves, if you remember the white shelves for the movie room, is the where all my Disney Infinity things. I moved all that stuff out. Now I'm showcasing some of my favorite movies and TV shows, and I'm having a shelf here with Marvel. So we got this as the first comic from the new Avengers for comics that we're doing on that shelf, and other things. This is the Kingdom Hearts, one of the Kingdom Hearts art books that we have on here. So I was excited to get that for Kingdom Hearts, and a Black Panther pin that I got from the Black Panther movie. So look forward to that. I can't wait to finish those shelves. You know, I'm doing for next month, I'm doing a God of War. I'm doing a Game of Thrones wall that I'm going to be showcasing some stuff, so you guys will see that. And I'm excited to be doing all those glass shelves and showcasing different, you know, the best games for those systems and stuff like that. So, guys, that is everything that we had for this month. I hope you guys enjoyed my gaming collection update. Obviously, I do these every month, so you can look forward to the end of March of me having another one. Hopefully, it's as big as this month, and we continue this series, guys. If you guys have any questions, of course, leave them down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.
Tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech. UrGamingTechie.